So within the Halo universe, we have got so many different varieties of weapons, whether they be UNSC or human, Covenant, Banished that are upcoming, and even Promethean. And seeing as I'm running out of video ideas very quickly, I thought, why not do a tier list? That's right, we're doing a tier list again. So today we're going to be doing a tier list on all of the UNSC variant weapons. Now I'm not going to be going through all the Halo 5 Rec variants because, to be honest, there's too many of them and I'm not counting them as core weaponry. So we're going to solely be focusing on main weapons that we would use in campaign and in multiplayer matchmaking, and things that you would get in ordnance drops in Halo 4. So as you're seeing on screen here, we have our tier list. I spent a lot of time making this, as you can see, with the high quality images. So we have our 5 tiers. We have unfriggin' believable, or if my friend would like to say it for me,
unfriggin' believable.
Thank you very much, pal. Basically, unfriggin' believable is top tier. Top tier. They're fantastic, brilliant weapons. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, the rest of it, and it gets the job done. Avoid the weapon, and then get in the bin is just where it's crap. And listed below this tier list, we have 14 different UNSC weapons. Now, I believe this is all of them besides turrets, like Gauss turrets and chain gun turrets, but I'm not counting them really because you don't really use them in matchmaking much unless you're playing BTB or Invasion in Reach or something like that. So these are just mainly the weapons that you would handle yourself in, like a game of SWAT or Team Slayer. So we may as well get a start. So starting off, we have the SAW, which was first introduced by 343 Industries in Halo 4. Now the SAW is a really powerful weapon, I'm not going to lie. It's Halo's equivalent of a light machine gun, and a lot of people have compared it to Halo CE's assault rifle, which I would agree with 100%. It has a larger magazine capacity, but it could use more magazine capacity, I'm not going to lie to you. I think that it could do with like maybe 100 rounds in a clip or something like that. But if you drop this down in your ordnance drop in Halo 4, you're going to be murking people left, right and centre with it. So the M249 SAW, I'm jumping straight in and I'm popping him straight in solid weapon. It would go in unfriggin' believable in my opinion, but you know, it needs more rounds in its magazine, to be honest. That's literally it. Moving on, we have the Magnum. Now this is the Magnum that is featured in Halo 4 and Halo Reach specifically that you're seeing here, but I'm talking generally for all of these weapons. The weapon models have nothing to do with which game they're from. It's just like the general consensus of that weapon. And do bear in mind that this list is my opinion. It's not factual, you don't have to agree with me, and this tier list is available on TierMaker if you want to go make your own one for your own channel or something like that. So the Magnum is obviously a gun that has been featured since the very first Halo game, since Combat Evolved, and it was an absolute machine in Combat Evolved. It kind of went downhill in Halo 2, and then they brought it back in Halo 3, and it was okay. I quite like the Halo 3 Magnum, but its fire rate is pants. It's got a terrible fire rate, but it does do damage when you're up close if you're accurate enough. You can get like a 3-1, just like you would with a BR. 3 shots in the body, 1 in the head, bish bash bosh. We got into Halo Reach, they extended the fire rate, they made it fire a lot quicker, it was quite easy to handle, it had a bit of bloom on it, and I think they did the same thing in Halo 4 really, and they just followed suit. And in Halo 5, it's just stupidly overpowered in my opinion, and it's the only weapon that anybody really uses. But to say that it is a very good sidearm, it's an absolute monster. That again, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm going to whack it into solid weapon. That's where that's going. That's going in solid weapon for me. It's a very good gun, does the job, but it's a bit weak in a couple of the games, specifically Halo 3, and it even goes far as saying Halo 2. Moving on, we have the standard assault rifle. Now, this gun has been, again, another one that has been in Halo since day one. This is the go-to weapon for any Spartan or even Marines and things like that, and ODSTs. And it's a good gun. It's been like, it was a 60-round, basically LMG in CE. Then it got reduced down to a 36 round, then 32, then back to 36. It's crazy. It's gone through a lot of different variations, but overall, I think it's a very good gun. It's another gun that I personally always use as a go-to. But in other games such as Halo 3, it's a bit useless, I'm not going to lie. Halo 2 Anniversary, it's very good. CE, it's very good. In fact, in every other Halo game, it's very good. Apart from in Halo 3, it's a bit weak and the range is a bit, you know, a bit meh. So I'm going to whack it into solid weapon again. And so far they've all been solid weapon, but things are about to change, don't you worry. We're moving on to SMG. Now, this was introduced in Halo 2 along with dual wielding, so you could dual wield the SMGs. And again, this is one that's very difficult for me because I do enjoy using the SMG in Halo 3 online. But in Halo 2, it's not my thing. They use the SMG as a start weapon for multiplayer. I do not know why they chose to do that instead of using the assault rifle. You very rarely see an assault rifle in Halo 2 online. The SMG is a good weapon at close range, but you know, again, it's got a lot of recoil on it. It takes a lot of bullets to kill somebody, and so for that reason, I'm putting it in gets the job done. Solely for the fact that when you're using it singly, like just that one SMG, it's not like the most strongest weapon in the world, but if you're dual wielding and you're about medium range, you stand a really good chance at getting that kill, winning that gunfight. Next up is the shotgun. Now where do I begin with this? Again, another weapon that's been here since CE. It was really good in CE, it was very good in Halo 2, it was crap in Halo 3, it was very good in Halo Reach, it was extremely overpowered in Halo 4, and in Halo 5, it's pretty balanced, I'd say, in Halo 5. I don't compliment Halo 5 much, but I'd say it's pretty balanced for Halo 5. Now, the design has changed a hell of a lot over the years. It's gone from just smooth barrel to having these little ridges on it, and then the colours on the iron sights have changed from blue to red to non-existent, because now it has nothing on the 343 design. It looks like crap, I'm not going to lie. But the gun overall is fantastic, so I'm whacking that in unfriggin' believable, because the amount of fun I had with that gun playing Halo Reach Infected back in the day, and even now, it's just wicked. It's such a good gun, and even like in Halo 2 Anniversary, it's a fantastic gun. You had so many shotgun shells in that clip, it was insane. So for me, that's going in unfriggin' believable. It's been a very consistent weapon throughout all the Halo games, besides Halo 3 really, unless you're really close range. So for me, that is going in unfriggin' believable. Next up, we have the DMR, which is a marksman rifle that was added in Halo Reach by Bungie. Now, the DMR was what was the prototype, so to speak, of the battle rifle, and it's a really good gun, I'm not going to lie to you. In every Halo that has been featured in Reach 4 and 5, it's a very good gun, it's a very powerful weapon, very accurate, and I really enjoy using it. The only downfall with it that I would say is in Reach, the bloom is a bit excessive. But overall, if you learn how to work that bloom, it's a very good gun. It's powerful, you can easily get a 4-shot kill, and in SWAT, it's wicked. It's honestly, if you're going to play SWAT, you've got to go for the DMR. I was taught to use the DMR, and it just pops people from no matter what range. The BR, it's very difficult to get kills at long range because of the burst, especially in Halo 4. But when you use the DMR, it's just incredible. It honestly is. So that for me is going in solid weapon. I think it's a solid gun. It's been very good in every single iteration of it, and for me, I tend to go to that more than I go to a battle rifle now. So that's why I put it in solid weapon. Next up, we have a controversial one. We have the sticky detonator, which is a weapon that was introduced in Halo 4, and that was the last time we saw it as well, so that didn't last very long. Now in Halo 4, the sticky detonator was ridiculously powerful in the Xbox 360 version of the game. It was definitely nerfed for the Master Chief Collection, but overall it was quite a fun gun to use if you got hold of it. You normally had about 5 sticky detonators, like sticky shots, to use, and in Halo 4 on the Xbox 360 it got to the point where, my goodness gracious me, you'd be able to get multi-kills without it being anywhere near an enemy. It was awesome. But then in Halo Master Chief Collection they nerfed it a bit. It's still usable, still fun, but it's nothing like it used to be. So I'm going to whack that in and get the job done. Next up, we have the grenade launcher, which is featured in Halo Reach and Halo 5 Guardians. It was obviously originally added in Reach, and I didn't have a clue how to use this gun until recently. I'm not going to lie to you. I had no idea what I was doing with it. I thought that you had to just pull the trigger and hope for the best, but it turns out you can hold the trigger and then it can detonate when you want and things like that. Personally, I don't really like it. I don't enjoy using the Reach grenade launcher in either game. It's not my cup of tea, so it's one I tend to avoid, so that's where I'm putting that. I tend to avoid it. I wouldn't say get in the bin because it can be useful in BTB against vehicles, but I very rarely play BTB. Next up, we have the Auto Mag, also known as the Silenced Pistol, which came from Halo 3 ODST, which is the ODST go-to sidearm, and that for me, it's just a wicked gun. It's so much fun using that. I think it was also passed over into Halo 5, and it was the TAC Mag, I want to say. I think it's Tactical Magnum, and it's really good gun in Halo 5. I think it's very self-explanatory. It's a pistol with a suppressor on it. That's about it, really. So I'm going to say it gets the job done. It is a good gun, gets the job done, I like it. Next up we have the suppressed Submachine Gun, which again originated from Halo 3 ODST and then was brought into the Master Chief Collection so that it was usable in Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo 3 multiplayer. So that's really fantastic in my eyes. I think it performs really well. I prefer this to the normal SMG. It has less recoil and tends to have much better range for some reason. It's a solid weapon. Suppressed SMG, it's a solid weapon. It's a lot better than the original SMG. It gets the job done, and they kind of reintroduced it in Halo 5 in Warzone, but it's never going to be as good as Halo 3 ODST and in Halo 3 and 2 Anniversary now. So for me, that goes in solid weapon. Next up, we have an addition that comes from Halo 5, which is the UNSC Hydra launcher, which is basically a lock-on missile launcher, which is insane. My big qualm with this weapon is that it should not be used in Slayer and things like that. It's a BTB weapon, that's what it's designed for, taking out turrets and vehicles, and it always gets put on Slayer maps and free-for-all maps and things like that in Halo 5, and that kind of bugs me because it is OP. Like, it's overpowered to the point where you lock on and it will follow you around corners and stuff like that to kill you. I do actually quite enjoy using it in BTB, so I wouldn't avoid it. I'd put it in gets the job done, because it gets the job done. It's just stupidly overpowered. Next up, we've got the Spartan Laser, which, if I am not mistaken, I'm sure a lot of you will correct me in the comments, was introduced in Halo 3 and then was passed on to Reach and 4 and 5. It's extremely dangerous if you're accurate. You can see people getting double kills, triple kills, even like killtrocities and things like that with this gun if you're in a big team battle match and there's a group of people, whether you're in zone control or something like that. It is an absolute machine, but I don't really have the skills to use it myself. I don't really use it. So I tend to avoid this weapon at all times because someone else can use it and is better. Not saying it's a bad gun. Personally, I avoid it. So I'm going to stick it with the Reach grenade launcher in Avoid. That's the only reason. I'm not saying it's a terrible weapon. It's just personally, I do not use it and I would not use it because I'm not very good with it. I'm not accurate enough with it. And by the time it's charged up, I can't follow a player long enough to get the kill. Okay, so on to the final three. Now, first of all, it's an addition from Halo 4. Now, this thing is a beauty. It's the railgun that was added in Halo 4 and then also carried over to Halo 5. I freaking love this gun, I'm not going to lie. When I use it, I tend to be extremely accurate. You charge it up, big old bolt, Bosch gun, and I freaking love it. And when you get rock and rail in your limited time modes, I just smash it out. It's fantastic, it's good fun. It's a nice addition to the kinetic weapons that we have here, because everything besides the Spartan Laser is kinetic. So having the railgun join the Spartan Laser in like the energy weapons field, so to speak, is really, really good. I love it. It's going in unfreaking believable. Don't judge me. Next up, we have the Spanker rocket launcher, or the rocket launcher in general. I'm not judging the designs at all, because Halo 5's design was not really my favourite, so we're using the Spanker. But, you know, the rocket launcher in general, again, absolute solid weapon. I think it's fantastic. It's a rocket launcher, there's not really much else to say about it. Some games it locked onto vehicles, some games it didn't, which was quite cool. But I think they should either stick with one idea or the other, because the design didn't change, and then they were saying that it could lock on, then it couldn't, and it was just really confusing. But in any case, that is going into solid weapon, because it is a solid weapon. And last but not least, sniper rifle. Again, absolute behemoth of a weapon. I really, really like it. I'm just not very good with it. But then again, I say that I've had a few good clips with it. But again, that's going in solid weapon, because the sniper rifle is just a beast. If you can get that one headshot, you're laughing. Save that ammo and you're loving life. So in order, in unfriggin' believable, we've got the shotgun and we've got the railgun, because they are wicked weapons. One's fantastic at close range, one is fantastic at long range, and they're both extremely powerful weapons. So they're in unfriggin' believable for me. So in solid weapons, we've got SAW, Magnum, assault rifle, DMR, suppressed SMG, rocket launcher, and sniper rifle. For some reason, this tier list doesn't have a battle rifle in it, I've just realised, but the battle rifle would go in solid weapon. It just would. So there's a battle rifle in there as well. Next on the list, it's Get the Job Done, which I'm putting the original SMG in, the sticky detonator, the auto mag or tactical Magnum, and the Hydra launcher. Finally, in Avoid, I've got the Reach Grenade Launcher and the Spartan Laser purely because I'm no good with them. I tend to avoid them when I'm playing games, and that's that. Now, I do have a lot of other tier lists that I want to make, but I wanted to make this one first and see if you guys enjoyed it, because I did one about a year ago, or maybe 9 months ago, where I rated Halo games in order, which ones I loved, which ones I hated, things like that. And so I thought I would dive in a bit deeper and start doing weapons, vehicles, multiplayer maps and things like that. So if you guys want to see that kind of content here, as well as the other stuff I'm already doing, like discussions, some gameplay, I've got some good collaborations with other YouTubers coming up soon. If you want to see this as well, make sure you let me know by leaving a like down below, as it means the world to me. Make sure you subscribe as well if you're new to the channel and you want to see some more awesome Halo content and help us on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And of course, leave your comments about how you would rate your tier list of UNSC weaponry. This is mine, it's my opinion, please don't shoot me in the face. I just wanted to make this because it's something different and hopefully you guys did enjoy it. But anyway, that is it from me. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure entertaining you. Make sure you look after yourselves in these crazy times, and I will hopefully see you guys on the battlefield. Take care of yourselves, catch you next time.